Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Eclipse. We're so glad you are all here tonight. This show is the result of months of creativity, collaboration, and hard work from our designers, models, and promotion team, and we can't wait for you to experience it. Tonight, you'll see original pieces from our Capstone Design Studio Apparel course, along with designs from our fashion studies classes. The entire event has been produced by our fashion merchandising students in their fashion promotion course.
And I also want to take some time to recognize the models here because they bring each and every design to life by breathing that life as they walk on this runway. And they really have worked hard and they want to feel your energy in the audience. So when they step on this runway, please applaud and show them how much you appreciate them.
Now, please direct your attention to the screen as we kick off the show with an interview from our first featured designer explaining the process of our design studio students. Thank you.
I chose to study fashion because I fell in love. I fell in love with fashion since I was like 14 because of my Mexican culture, and I started like sketching Mexican traditional dresses. And then when I was 18, I chose to might as well pursue fashion. The inspiration behind my collection was vampires. Vampires were my favorite TV shows and films. I focused on certain scenes from the shows and films, and I made a mood board from it. I then started focusing on the women from those TV shows and films and started focusing on incorporating that. And then noticed a pattern with the colors, so I added red, black, and dark blue as that was like the overall pattern between the TV shows and the movie. I started focusing more on the emotional side, the hurt, how hurt they may feel, having to live like their entire life, losing people that they left. A piece of my collection has lace, then a lot of layering. The way that I perceive lace is I perceive it as quite feminine, and that was like that's the whole point of the collection. An advice that I would give myself, my past self, would be to take risk, even if it seems like it's something that I haven't done, like something I haven't done before, something I'm too scared to do. Just take the risk, and because again, ultimately, I'm going to figure it out and I'm going to do it.
Just a couple years ago, I just started getting more into fashion. Like I know a lot of people like fashion at a young age, so I had like a lot of friends in my life that liked fashion, and I also just was on social media a lot, and I just decided to just pursue it further and see how it goes. My inspiration behind my collection was mostly a lot of romantic aspects into my designs. My whole collection is basically based around heartbreak. The stuff that I incorporate into my designs kind of give that romantic and also dark aspects into it, making it mostly about heartbreak. The whole thing came about because I'm a big romantic. I love any romantic shows, any romantic movies. Love is really beautiful, so I that kind of inspired me. When I first started sketching out designs and making my mood board, I was trying to just get ideas on what to put in my garments that I make. Something that kind of inspired me was a Chinese or a Japanese folklore called the red string theory. And that whole folklore, you basically are attached to somebody by an invisible string. And no matter where you are in the world, you are destined to find that person. That string will never break. So that kind of inspired me to incorporate red strings into my garments. It's maybe wrapped around the arms of the models, around the neck, to kind of give that feeling of constraintment. And instead of making it a happy thing, like how the red string theory is, I kind of want to make it into a twisted version of that theory. I feel advice that I would give my past self is just keep doing what you're doing, because I feel all the things that I did in the past kind of brought me to where I am now. Take risks, do what you want, don't worry about what other people say, and continue doing good work.
I chose to study fashion because I grew up in India. My culture and heritage have a lot of color, a lot of fashion involved in it, and I've always grown up that way. Had my grandmother did all of my hair and my outfits, so it's a very important part of me growing up. My inspiration behind the collection started off with my family, and in my culture, everyone's names have a special meaning. So I used that to bring together and ended up with the Northern Lights. I looked at a lot of different fabrics, and there were a few that really inspired me to put certain designs on my thing. And I also looked at fabrics from India, which inspired me to use different styles of fabric that I didn't have access to here. I really loved using Canva as my mood boards and other inspirations to really put them together and have them together in one area. I also like doing swatches of different fabrics and like having them together in a book right next to all my sketches. So I'm well organized in that area. I found a way that helps me keep everything organized and motivated is by talking to my family, taking some time away from my arts and taking away from my work to spend time with the family that really inspires me. So when I come back to my art and work, I can really focus in more. I would say to my past self to keep trying. Even when I think I've had the final thing done, even when I think I'm good at what I do, keep trying to do better.
I've always loved art. First, I went into fine art, and this wasn't always my major, but I knew I always wanted to create something with my hands. So after some figuring stuff out through college, I kind of fell upon fashion. The inspiration behind my collection is heavy texture, so cozy, nostalgic, whimsical. I wanted to focus on pleating, smocking, chunky knit textures, and crochet. How I establish a cohesiveness would be mostly through color. I also try to use similar materials, using silks, orange material, warmer colors. I had a few design obstacles, definitely some fit issues regarding the pleating. Like for this top, for instance, it's a little bit complicated, but they're all good now. Some advice I'd give my past self would be to follow what you're interested in most. Don't follow what other people want you to do. I had a huge mistake because I tried to follow what someone else wanted me to do or what I felt others wanted me to do. So, but I ended up circling back to what I wanted to do, and I think that was the best choice. If I could do something all day, it would be fashion or drawing, or I just really like it, so I have no problem spending most of my time doing it.
I chose to study fashion just because I was drawn through being really creative. I was really creative when I was like younger. So growing up, definitely in middle school, starting to like have ideas of like garments and stuff in my head and like illustrating that on paper really inspired me and showed me that that was like where I want to go. I'm more of a hands-on and creative person. The inspiration behind my collection was based off the season spring. I'm really drawn to nature, so I really loved like the colors that comes with spring, the really pastel colors. So that's what I implemented into my designs. And then I have lightweight fabrics to also showcase that. The words I would describe my collection, I would say like really feminine, lightweight, flowy, elegant. And I say this because they are drawn, since it is inspired by spring. I want to do like, something that did showcase like a lot of femininity, like the flowiness, the softness of it with the colors and with like the designs of my garments. If I were to give my past self a piece of advice, it would be to continue to like put in time, put in effort, and to not give up, so then everything that you do have in your head and in your mind for design, stuff like that, can be done well. I would say what helps me to stay on track with like every component of like my life is being able to plan in ahead, thinking about what I have to get done, to just be able to go through things the way I want and just stay on track, so I'm able to have time for myself as well.
I see fashion as just a form of wearable art, but most of it is because of my abuelita, because she taught me how to sew. So, in other words, it's just to do it in memory of her. I'm often drawn to my own roots due to hearing stories and singing songs from Puerto Rico. Right now, my designs are inspired by a type of Puerto Rican dance, music and dance, called danza puertorriqueña. But while looking at the original outfits that's used during the dance, to me, they look a lot like either Victorian or fairy tale theme. Sometimes it's either from what I could see through nature, from what I hear in stories. From the beginning, it just started off with gathering some images that's connected to, well, my own heritage, like images of the flora and fauna that I personally took during traveling to Puerto Rico, and also some images of like the art and architecture there. I mostly think of my work as just a form of art because before coming to COD, I've actually studied in art and art history and also majored in ideas, which was a new program in UIC for students who want to branch out to many forms of art. To be honest, I don't really know what my future holds. What I do know is that I'll just do my best to use all the skills that I have.
All right, what did you guys think of the show? We loved it. Perfect. All right, well, thank you guys so much for joining us and supporting our fashion students on this special night. Don't forget to check out the installations by the back window. We also have a few in the front, but I'll pass it off to Sunshine.
And we really appreciate everyone being here. We look forward to you coming back next year for a fabulous spring fashion show. Until next time, you all have a good evening and good night.